This week on Pivot with Purpose.
It's back to school. School supply list.
Mm-hmm.
Uniform.
Shoes.
Groceries.
Hair.
Tutoring.
Orientations that happen in the middle of the day when the parents are working.
Sports. Extracurricular activities.
Shots.
Or doctor's
physicals.
appointment.
Okay.
There are days when I get angry.
Mm-hmm.
Like today I looked at my phone and I said, I haven't gotten a text. I haven't gotten a Cash App. I haven't gotten nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You were in me. You shot it. You asked for this.
Okay.
He's here. He's breathing. He's eating. He's moving. He goes to school. Why are you not helping? And I only got one. There's women out there that have multiple.
I can't imagine. Not to say that you can't handle it, but I know that's something. If you had 5 kids depending on
The
you,
Lord knows who to give
and
certain
you were
battles to.
single, I know mentally you wouldn't be here.
Welcome back to another episode of Pivot with Purpose. There was a whole intro before this, so you know where you are. Thank you for coming back. This week, if you're watching in real time as it's dropping, a lot has been happening. So much. So technically, today, if you're you're not here, you go see this in a couple weeks, but today, the Know For Sure episode launched.
Woo.
I have been anxious. You know, although I have this platform, it's like, I kind of do stay behind the scenes when it comes to my...
Yeah, you do.
I'm not the Diddy of podcast producers, you know what I'm saying? Although, that's not bad. Diddy made a name off of take that, like being back there doing his dance moves. But I usually stay behind the scenes just to let the work happen. But it's also great to be on front. But I went on to continue to tell my story. And I've been really... I say it here, right? It's like I tell my story at home, right? Pivot is home. And we talk about it here. I never really go anywhere else to talk about it. And then I just happen to get the biggest platform to talk about it on. So YouTube just went out. Notifications are going ham, so I turned them off. But they haven't been terrible. Most people want to know, you're the Carla. Or I want to find out what it was that he did. And
you will never
Megan
know the
asked
truth.
me one question. Megan or B, one of them asked me, he's like, am I still trying to protect him?
Ooh,
And that's
good question.
Right?
Tell me.
Terrible. And I don't think that I am. But at the same time, it's a little bit different when I have a child with the person, right? It'll be said, the word is not protect. More so it's just, there's just certain things that I don't feel that need to be public. Yeah. Maybe one day they will, maybe not. But I don't think it's protection towards him per se, just more of how much am I willing to share of my story? You know?
Okay. I mean, I've never thought of that before. Because I didn't start talking about it till I met you. And I used it as a little common sense thing common thing that we had. Yeah. For me, I didn't talk about it because it was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. Yeah. And I'm somebody that, if you get to know me personally, I am OCD. I am planner, organized. I think ahead. I plan ahead. And for something so crazy to happen and for me to let it happen for so many years, it's like, how do you have your shit together? And how did you let that happen?
Right.
How did you let it get that far? And that's why I didn't talk about it, because it was embarrassing.
But at the same time, Megan and I talked about that as well. And we talk about it here all the time because it's more so of how did I let this happen? Me, the girl that had it all together, you have your OCD. I was like, if we gonna fight, it's gonna be me, I was that girl, and then it's like, oh, I'm healed now, or not healed because no one's ever fully healed, but I'm healing. I started doing all this work on myself, find this relationship that I think now is perfect, scream it from the top of the mountains, like I always say, and then it happened to me. So I don't think per se it's that I'm protecting him, just more of how much I want to tell. And I've told pretty much. I don't have to go into detail and be angry. And also one thing that I did do was wait.
Yes.
Until I wasn't angry anymore, until a lot of the pain, I was dealing with it. There's something, Mel Robbins, one person that I talked about all the time. Remember Dr. Ramani?
I love her.
I love her.
She's on Hulu and I cannot wait to watch that episode.
I have to see it. So Navigating Narcissism is her podcast now. She was just on YouTube before. So when I tried to launch a podcast for her, I'm still going to DM her again. I really wanted to do it. iHeart got her. All right. iHeart gave her a bag. I can't give her. But She went on with Mel Robbins.
Oh, wow.
This week. Oh, I love them both.
No way.
Love them both. And Mel Robbins posted this for the podcast, and it says, you don't always need to tell your side of the story. Yep. Time will. Now, technically, it hasn't been out yet, but you watched the episode with Erica already?
Yes.
So that episode, I, reflecting back, because you guys, it's already out. Erica is my baby father's, my ex's first
child's mother.
Thank you. Appreciate. You know what? I like your wording. She is the first mother of his first child, and there were some differences in that, and it was just that you don't have to do the most, right? You don't have to scream it from the mountaintop. You don't have to tell all the story in anger and expose. Time will do it.
That, and also like you staying calm. In the sense of not going crazy, bashing, because you could have. If we're being 100% honest, you could have.
I could have went donkey.
But then that could have changed your reputation. Now you're an angry baby mama.
That's all it would have shown, because the other person would have used that as ammunition, right? And this is, now I'm talking in a general sense, right? When you are angry, especially after you had a kid, they love to use postpartum. Oh, she just got postpartum. You don't even know, you can't even say partum right.
She's hormonal.
Right. It's like all these things are happening, and I'm like, no, it's not. You see, you hear the ambulance? That's what would have happened, right? If you start telling your story while you're upset, somebody's going to have to be picked up in an ambulance. But when you are in the midst of it, you're going to look angry. You're going to look crazy because the other person, again, if they are this toxic, or if they really do have narcissism personality disorder, again, I feel like I have to give a disclaimer every time. Don't just diagnose. Someone that's toxic does not mean they have NPD. There is a spectrum to this.
Oh, yeah.
Just because a man cheated on you and did you dirty, that doesn't mean that they're a narcissist. They could have narcissistic traits.
Yeah.
But the thing here, NPD, which I usually talk about, has to be diagnosed by someone.
That, and it has very specific symptoms.
They're all
They're
one.
identical.
You know how
and I told you, when the first day I walked into your house and I met him, the first day, I literally was like, oh, shit.
And there have been two people I have met after all of this.
Yeah.
Two men that I have met of friends where I'm like, I had the same feel. Oh, shit.
You get it like that. Immediately you get it.
You're around a person and you're like, oh, this ain't for me. Or this ain't for them. Or I know that because, okay, this might sound crazy. Some of this is bad. You know how people with Down syndrome all kind of look the same and they have those traits, but physically, people with narcissistic personality disorder, it's like Down syndrome, but you just can't see it.
Yeah, but and I will say our baby daddies, they're the same fucking person.
And I know a few other ones that they say the same things. They move the same way. It's like, it's very, very specific things that they do.
Yeah.
Now, cheating on you, cussing you out, even if someone is physically abusive to you, right? That doesn't mean they can just be really shitty people. And this goes for females or males, right? Either one. But speaking to both, being able to sit with Erica, which I'm so grateful that she was able to do it. I think some people might look at it as like, whoa, you would do that? I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I did the same thing with Vakai. I don't know what episode. I'll find it and I'll put it in the show notes again. It was the episode when I interviewed 7 years later the wife of the man that I was dating.
Yeah, but what I think also when you sit down with these people, you're not doing it in a malicious way.
Not at all.
2, there's no animosity between the both of you.
Nope. 3,
you're doing it in a way that, for lack of a better term, you're educating other people and you're showing people this is what co-parenting is. Because granted, you guys are not in a relationship, but you guys have children in common.
Yeah.
You do have to co-parent. When Psalm gets bigger, there's going to be a time that, you know what? Maybe he can go visit her for a weekend or something. Or maybe
I would love that.
Or maybe his son can come and spend time with you for a weekend or like a spring break or something.
Which they do. They were here for a week. King comes over. King still calls me. He calls me all the time.
And you need to have a relationship with that person to trust to send your child.
And I can't wait till King is 18. Come pick up your brother. Come, I'll get you the car. Come over here and get your brother.
I'm nervous for King because Psalm gonna be on it.
How many years apart? They're 7 years apart, I think.
7, yeah.
7, yeah. So they'll be fine. By the time he's 18, Psalm will be 11. They'll do right.
Ooh, Psalm 11. Oh,
I can't even imagine.
I can't think of my baby being 11.
Well, we just started hot. We just started. But I do want to shout out an Apple Podcast review. So if you have not yet left an review on Apple Podcast, open up your laptop right now or your phone. It's right there on your phone. Open it up and leave a 5-star. Ding, 5. Okay, whatever you feel like it's real, but 5. And this one came all the way from France. Actually, shout out to her because she sent me a DM and it's been a lot. I saw your DM, girl. I'll reply to you. Her name is Ava Kayla, and she says, obedience. Hello, Carla. Your podcast is so authentic. Thank you so much because it's giving me faith. I love your personality. I like it. The contents and life lessons. I'm looking forward to every new episode because I get so excited to learn and say amen. God is good. Keep doing the great work. Shout outs to your crew and your guests as well. Giving, it's better than receiving. Lots of love from south of France.
The south of France?
The south, not the north.
Isn't that where you vacation?
I don't know, but it sounds good. It sounds fancy. South of France is where people go? What's down there?
The south of France is like where everybody goes in vacation.
Is that where Ibiza is?
Yeah.
I thought Ibiza was Spain.
No. Is Ibiza in Spain or the south of France?
Yeah, no, where's Ibiza? Woo! We did not do geography.
Well, I know the south of France is popular for vacationing. Like that's where like all the super uppity rich people go.
That's not where Paris is.
That is not Paris. Paris is in the middle.
Okay. Well, all I know is Ava Kayla, girl, invite me to your house. I want to come. We are coming. No, but this really, thank you for leaving that. And it gives me, ammunition to keep going because one, I do know we are literally in over 100 countries with this podcast.
What?
I know. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
You mean our soulmates could be in another country and we here in Orlando frying on a frying pan?
Literally frying. If my soulmate is out there and you're listening to me, we usually, I can pull it up in a second. All the countries that we have. Bahamas is huge. We're usually like in the top 20 in the Bahamas of podcasts.
Through Bahamas.
Yep. We have Barbados, a lot of the islands. Let's see what else we got here.
I think we should do like a carnival tour. Just island hop.
I just sent it to Dex. Carnival, this girl was doing it. And I'm like, you know what? I got on the bike one day. I turned on my Peloton today for the first time in a year. Watched one episode of Insecure. And now I want to put carnival clothes on.
You mean carnival strings? Because it's not close.
Carnival little beads on.
But you know what I will say? I think I've watched videos and YouTubes and Instagrams of all these women in carnival. Yo, the way these women feel so confident in their bodies.
They don't give a damn.
To be walking around. And I'm just like, I wish I had just a little bit of that.
I need to do it while I'm single.
See, and I think I would do it if I was in a relationship.
What?
Yeah. Ew, can we edit that out, please?
That's what it gave me gas when you said in a relationship.
Well, just because when you're in a relationship with somebody, you're happy. You feel what's the word? Supported by that person. You don't feel
supported
insecure.
by you. Come and support me in my thong.
I was very proud of you, by the way.
What'd I do?
You wore the
I wore. Shout out to It's Thong Season.
You wore
Carla.
Your thong season.
She gave me this thong forever ago.
It.
And I think it was because Dex and Mandy were also wearing theirs.
So it was peer pressure.
But I also kept a shirt on the whole time. But it was windy in the boat. So my booty was showing.
You know what I tell you? There's a reason why God has me here. God hasn't moved me. He hasn't shooken me.
Trust me.
Because the Lord knows my ways.
You have been out here in a thong?
Girl.
Walking around downtown.
Carla, hire me. Hire me, Carla. Whatever you need.
And she's talking about this Carla. She's talking about the other Carla. So you can look it up. It's thong season. They have these thongs. And what I will say about
pasties, and shirts, and skirts.
She got all of that. She ain't paying me for this. She is my homegirl. But she's had it forever. And I don't even pay no attention because I don't wear thongs. I really, really don't. I was like, where's my stuff going to go in this floss? But I put it on, and the sides, I always have an issue with the sides of the bathing suits because they're really tight, and then you really look like a sausage. Where with hers, she has a bra.
Yeah.
And then you just make it as wide as you want or as long, and then it doesn't cut you.
Innovator.
And the quality was great, I will say. But I think it was also because Dex and Mandy were there wearing theirs as well, which also reminded me, you don't need to be wearing a thong. I just don't. Dex is just
perfect.
Oh,
I love Dex.
Just perfect. Inside and out. But out, That ass looked great. And then Mandy, hips and titties and this body, and this thong. And here I come, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants.
I need you to stop being so hard on your body. Like, you have a great body. You have great tits.
I bought them. Shout out to the doctor.
They're yours.
Winter Park, they sure are.
They're yours.
Mm-hmm.
You have great skin complexion.
I appreciate you.
You look great. Your hair is great. You have a great body.
I do. I should just keep a regular bathing suit on, not a thong.
Okay, well, you gotta live a little sometimes.
I lived.
You say you want to be topless in Italy one day.
I do, but I paid for those. Now I have to pay for a little ass or a little hip or something. You know, my squared girls, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
You have all of that, right? I don't. It's like this, and then because it's like the dip.
If we can do a transfer program,
please.
Organic, I got you.
Organic.
I got you, girl.
Yeah, I need some of that. But yeah, shout out to Ava Kayla over in France. Shout out to Carla for giving us all those thongs. It's thong season. Go shopping. They're such good quality.
She has so many cute colors too.
I know.
She just released like a green one. I like it.
The green one was, I think, Mandy wore the green one.
It's like an emerald green.
Yes, we actually looked like Christmas. It was red, white, and green.
There you go.
We looked like
or
Christmas
like a
tree.
Mexican flag or an Italian flag.
That could work too. Ooh, we should have took a picture together because we were going to Italy, but we're not. Okay, moving right along. Just what has been out right now that caught my attention along the same lines is Tory Lanez got sentenced to 10 years in prison.
10 years.
He could have gotten 22. What really stood out to me was what he said during court. So sentencing, by this time, he's been found guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just a judge. And everybody pleads their case. They're there all day. He has people come talk on his behalf. And other people saying, some will say why he should be let out or get less time. Others are on Megan's side saying, do not come, right? He don't need to be outside. He's a dangerous person. Well, he said, if I could turn back the series of events that night and change them, I would. The victim was my friend. The victim is someone I still care for to this day. Everything I did wrong that night, I take full responsibility for. Everything I did wrong that night, which in a way I feel like in that he's saying
you're admitting
I didn't even do it. Wasn't that bad. Everything I take responsibility for what I did, but I don't think I did that. And then 2, the victim is someone I still care for to this day. To me, she didn't go. She said I still can't be in the same room with this person. She's dealing with some serious PTSD after being shot. Some of them will be like, oh, she just got shot in the heel, which I've seen some of those ignorant people.
Getting shot is getting shot.
I don't care if it graced me. The fact that your life flashed before your eyes.
Yeah.
The fact that you had to cover it up thinking that the police might shoot a black man because it's very real. That could have happened. The fact that this was your friend, you know, whatever. We all will never know what really transpired that day. There's everybody's story plus the truth, and the truth is, unless you're
getting
there, you don't
watered
know.
down every day.
So she's like, I can't be there. And I feel like he's still taunting her. He taunted her for so long. And that's something somebody...
Not just him. Millions of people. Because it was on... People talked about it on podcasts. Big podcasters talked about it.
Artists were like, we still support Tory. Like all these things.
It was big news.
I understand that because Tory also has, you know, a following and friends and people that love him and they're going to support him no matter what. I mean, we see abusers every day. And they mamas still hold on to them and say, this my baby. And
pray
their friends,
over them.
And the friends are like, well, that's my homeboy, you know?
Wrong is wrong.
Right.
Wrong is wrong.
But they still will have someone supporting them because they're just as delusional or toxic as they are. It's just, don't get mad at those people because they're there. They're going to be there regardless for anyone.
Yeah, I didn't follow like crazy into detail the story. I was like, I was more like a headline person. I was like, oh, okay, this happened. Oh, okay, whatever. Right. But realistically, I mean, I am licensed to carry. You are licensed to carry. And we always have we have our things with us. And we've been in situations where there's a ton of people. There was one situation where somebody was like going back and forth with you when we went out one night and it was intense.
When? Was I there?
Yeah, he was talking to you.
Who? Oh, yes.
So now that I have something with me like that, you need to carry a bigger sense of responsibility. Because even if you do something in self-defense, there's always that 1% chance that a lawyer can spin this on you.
Right.
like it's a big responsibility. So for somebody to be in a group of friends, because he said they were friends,
Right.
for you to be in a group of friends and for an argument to escalate to the point that you have to pull out your gun in your circle of friends, that's not responsible.
No, because
that's not responsible.
As much as everybody knows that I carry responsibly.
Oh yeah.
When I have it on me, it's one of those things that it's like, first of all, play with me if you want to. 2, you have to be careful.
Yes.
I can't get upset. Like sometimes I'll be like, shoot. I'm kidding. You know, I take that very, very serious. I take the fact that I was granted the license. Although right now in Florida, Ronnie said everybody can have a gun.
We can't listen to Ronnie
too
much.
Ronnie said all of y'all. You get a gun, you get a gun,
right.
you get a gun. You don't need a permit, just wilding out. Which really, it's not true. Read the fine print, because all y'all gonna walk around here carrying a gun in Florida. And if you have certain felonies or certain things on your record, or there's other things within that, I ain't read it because I'm good. But read it because you might not be good. Your ass might be walking around here with a gun and you don't know that. You're like, oh, I'm good. I'm in Florida, and you will be in the jail.
And it's Florida. Unfortunately, it's Florida. And if you have a misunderstanding with a cop, they'll shoot you.
They will shoot you.
It's me before you.
All day long.
So
but definitely be responsible. I'm a responsible gun owner. I've had my gun since I was 21 when you're able to get it. Mm-hmm. You know, I've had the gun, I've had the license, and I've made sure my kids are very aware of what guns are. That was actually, that's something I didn't touch on with Erica. But Erica is not a fan of guns. She's from New York. In New York, you can't even look at a gun without, you go to jail.
Yeah.
So I remember when her sons first started coming, there were guns everywhere. We got guns. And she's like, I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I did have a few conversations with her, and I appreciated in the co-parenting aspect of it that she allowed me to at least let me, what's the word I'm looking for? Educate him the way that I educate my kids.
Okay.
So she was like, allowed me for him to be my son while there. Mm-hmm. And he did use certain guns, and we did talk about it. And it's like, if you know how kids sometimes will be like, I'll shoot you. No, we don't do that. We don't play that at all. Mm-hmm. So it's like, let me guide him, because regardless of the fact, he is a black boy in New York.
Yep.
And he will see guns, and people will try to bring him around. And I'd rather for my kids, and I still consider him mine, to know about it than be curious.
Oh no, my kid got introduced to guns at your house.
Oh, she did.
She was. I went out one day. I came back, and she's just.
Her face was white.
Shooting rifles out the backyard.
No, but the first time she opened the thing and saw all the rifles in there and closed it back up and didn't say anything.
That's what happens when you're nosy.
Yeah.
There was a time that I was visiting Carla a lot.
In Jersey.
And one day I was cleaning the kitchen, and my daughter was running around. Sam was taking a nap. And she was the whole house was new to her, and it's a huge house. So she was like exploring everything. She opened a case and she saw all these guns. She slapped it down. And I knew it was there because I think you had told me. And I was like, well, what's that? She said, nothing. Nothing. Never went by that bench again.
She didn't want to sit on there.
She wouldn't. She would not. And then one day we went to the city to go record. We came back and we left her in the care of someone, and she had a sleeve of Oreos.
Yeah. And Chips Ahoy cookies. And she was shooting rifles. In the backyard. And she was having so much fun.
She loved it. She didn't even have her jacket zipped up, and it was like 30 degrees. She was genuinely having fun. And I was like, oh my goodness. But that was her introductions to guns. And now like I have mine at home, and like you can leave yours anywhere.
I can leave it anywhere.
And your kids
right now, at this age, I wouldn't. Sam is still too young.
But with your teenager,
with my teenager. Once she was like home. By the age of 8, she could see a gun, and she'll be like, Mommy. And even if she went in the glove compartment, she'll be like, Mommy, I got to get something. Can you get the gun out?
Yeah.
As she got older, I allowed her to do it. But by 7, I had her shooting.
Yeah.
So.
Rylan shot a shotgun.
Right, we could take her to shoot a 22 because it doesn't have so much kickback, but they can shoot 22s. It depends how tall she is. And she's very tall. So as long as she can see over
the blind,
the thingy, she can shoot. And what I did, I would start her with like a 22 caliber. That's looks like a BB gun kind of.
Yeah. Now there's been 2 times that I left I left it on top of my bed because I was switching purses and she was in the room. And it's like she doesn't pay attention. It's not attractive.
Right. Because it's just, I don't know what it does.
Yeah.
I think it's curiosity kills the cat, right?
Yeah.
They're so curious that it's like, oh my God, what is this? Like, see this in the movies. And it's like, oh,
right.
I did that already. You know, I've been there, done that.
Well,
it's not that serious.
That and a friend of mine, he has a huge AK. And he was cleaning his gun and our kids were playing or whatever, and they came in the room and everybody was like, oh, okay. And I was like, this is not okay. Too big.
That Florida. See, Florida. They let us have too much. They let us have too much. Now, what I really wanted to come on here is because it is August, but this is something that'll live on forever.
Can we cue "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year" song, like the Christmas song?
Absolutely.
Out of here.
How was it? It's the most wonderful time. Bullshit. It's not. It's back to school. Well, okay.
It's 50-50.
50-50. All right. We'll start with the good parts.
They're going back.
Go back to school.
For 8 hours.
I don't have school-age children at the moment.
He goes to school, though.
Year-round.
Yeah.
So I don't have the being, yeah. Well, there's two things. Yes, he gets to go to school Monday through Friday, regardless of what's going on, but I got to pay for that bad boy. A lot. Every single week.
Wait till pre-K, the bills goes away.
Can't wait. I remember when I first went to VPK. Wow, I didn't have to pay that bill anymore every week. It was like, it went from like $200, for her it was like $260 a week, to I think like $50 a week for
That's
after.
That's amazing.
I was rich.
Yeah.
I was making $16 an hour. When I saved that money, I think I only had money for daycare.
Ooh, live in the 2000s and 16.
I need to act like I'm making $16 an hour again. That's what I really need to do to be able to afford what's coming up. Because yes, they go back to school. When you have the kids for the summer, we love our children, but fuck,
it's a lot.
They're so intense.
I don't get a summer break.
But this is okay. Well, I guess this is more coming from two single moms, right? Because
please reiterate that.
This is coming from two single moms. If you have your husband, an active husband and father or partner or stepdaddy that work, God bless you.
Right.
You are lucky. Mm-hmm. I am saying your prayer.
I'm jealous.
I'm jealous. Okay. I'm sure you're dealing with other issues, but that issue you're not dealing with. So two single mamas here. Our kids require a lot from us, and when they're home for the summer, my first one already graduated high school, so I did 18 years of this. It was intense.
You was done.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. I could cry. I could cue the tears. It was almost there. No, but there are a lot. So the peak of it is that they go back to school. You get to reclaim some of your time back, decompress, and just breathe. Yeah. They don't let you breathe. Now, school supply list.
Mm-hmm.
Uniforms.
Mm-hmm. Shoes.
Groceries.
Hair.
Tutoring.
Orientations that happen in the middle of the day when the parents are working.
Sports. Mm-hmm. Extracurricular activities.
Shots.
Or doctor's physicals. Appointments. Yes, because now they're going to be around other kids that are snotty and they're going to get sick again, and their immune system. And it's like, there's so much that happens when school goes back in that I want to remind y'all moms that are single and doing this, you are not alone. We are here with you. It's a lot of money that goes out. Like, Psalm is not in school, and his school supply list is this long.
It is.
Why does he need glue?
Arts and crafts.
Hopefully not to give him a box. I gave him a box from Home Depot, and he was busy for an hour. Give him a box. We don't need all this, but I guess whatever. Teach him something. This very long list. It's like almost $150 for a 2-year-old for school supply list because they do a curriculum even for like 2- and 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
So all of that. But this season also brings not only gratitude, you're like, damn, I did it. Because we're like, we did that. We are still keeping them alive. We are still feeding them. We're still can afford school and uniforms and shoes and all of that. But there comes a time when we get really angry. At least for me. I don't know for you.
Okay.
There are days when I get angry. Mm-hmm. Like today I looked at my phone and I said, I haven't gotten a text. I haven't gotten a Cash App. I haven't gotten nothing. Mm-hmm. You haven't sent a pack of markers. You haven't sent a pack of diapers.
Wipes is the cheapest thing.
Wipes. Nothing.
Yeah.
Not some snacks for after school because that boy walks in the door.
Okay. We need to I want to talk to you about that. I don't know who set him up like this, But the way your son walks in the house and expects dinner on the table,
Not
like
dinner
a grown
cooking, but
man,
on the table.
like a grown man, and he looks at you disappointed and walks into the kitchen like, I know she lying because she been here all day.
Are you new here?
Looking
Where's
for
my
food.
Yeah.
I had to make dinner. I watched them the other day. I made dinner before I picked them up. Because I know how he gets. And he makes the saddest face. Like, he'll like droop to the side.
And he'll put his hand on his forehead like, I can't believe
Like,
there's no food here. You are too.
And I made dinner before I picked him up.
And then he eats so much. So now I have this little table by the kitchen where I put some snacks like a banana, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, some cookies, a fruit, and a juice. Eat that. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Because I am working all day. Like until the second, like I have to get up and run out the door to go pick him up from school. He doesn't see that. No, he didn't. He's like, you've been here all day. You're literally in the same clothes you dropped me off in. Why is there no food? Just like a man. But all of that to say, there are days that I get very angry. Because I'm doing it alone. You're not helping. You laid with me. You was on top of me, behind me, on the side of me, in every hole. Actually, I'm lying. Not every hole. Okay, TMI. Maybe we might edit that out. I don't know. You were in me. You shot it. You asked for this.
Okay.
He's here. He's breathing. He's eating. He's moving. He goes to school. Why are you not helping? And I only got one. There's women out there that have multiple.
I can't imagine.
Ariel.
Shout out to Ariel.
Ariel. I see Ariel and I just want to be like, just come over, bro. Like let me just give you. When they didn't have AC, she didn't want to. She's like, she's so sweet, and didn't reply to me. I was like, I was dead serious. You could have came here. I was like, I didn't invite you to move in.
But
you could have came for a day or two. It's just me and Psalm.
Yeah.
Like I know what that's like, and I can't even imagine.
I can't.
Me times 5. Times 5.
I mean, not to say that you can't handle it, but I know that's something. If you had 5 kids depending on you,
the Lord knows who to give.
And you were single, I know mentally you wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't.
Mentally, you
wouldn't. Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Nah, hell no.
I wouldn't be able to handle it because 1 is a lot.
No, there are a couple. Again, I don't know where I would be or how I would be, but I know that the God gives us
what certain. We can bear.
Yes, He knows what. He knows what to give us, right?
He clearly knows more than what I know because there's some days that I'm like, you sure about this?
Friday for me.
You sure about
I was like, Lord, what is going on? But I will also say, and this is that's something else. I'll say it anyway. Sometimes, because we're talking about this, I laugh and I'm like, God, you got one sense of humor. But sometimes there's smoke signals, right?
Yeah.
And there's smoke and there's smoke. For me, I don't see the smoke. I'd be like, ooh, did I smoke? There's a little smoke in here. Was that my leftover weed? No, it's God showing me like, hey, you need to pay attention here. I don't pay attention until he erupts with fire.
Okay.
And it's just like, now, do you see it? And I'm like, oh my God, yes. And then it's when I have to react and move. And even though he throws these fires and sets the whole house on fire, he then puts a whole new house right next to it. He's like, it's okay, just move right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I shout out to him because the grace that he gives me on a daily basis, you're there daily. You get the phone calls, and I always say it doesn't seem real. It doesn't, the way things happen. Like from when I get one phone call when there's a fire, so the next phone call is like, here's your new house.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. And then I just cry. I
want your plan that you got, your benefits package with the Lord.
You know what? My benefits package is popping.
Your benefits package, I need to review your stuff. I need to know what package you got. I mean, and I understand where you get angry. But we're both single moms.
Yeah.
Our kids are in two separate stages, and we're in different parts of this now.
Yeah, very much so.
So I'm on year 6. You're on year 2.
Woo.
So the only thing that I can say is I didn't feel the anger that you're feeling at all.
Yeah.
Because I had my parents. After her father and I we didn't separate. I left.
Yeah, I saw family issues. I'm about to cry.
We didn't separate. I left.
Right.
I will always say that.
I bound. Me too.
I packed up everything in 4 hours and I left and I was gone.
Regardless of what you've heard out there in the streets, I packed up my shit and left.
Yeah. And I went to my parents' house. I asked my mom and dad, hey, can I come home? And they're like, yeah. So I had that support from my parents. So I didn't need, if I needed a break, my mom was there. If I needed a break, my sisters were there.
Right.
So I didn't have that. My anger is a little bit more now that she's 6 because she's older. And it's like, not that I'm crazy going out all the time, because I don't. But there's times that I'm like, dang, I wish I could. Because you do get mom guilt having to ask somebody, can you watch my daughter?
I was just boohoo crying to you when I had to leave last minute to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that entire day, Sunday, was awful. It's like I had to ask one friend to come and stay the night so I can leave early in the morning, another friend to pick him up, another friend to go pick him up from you for when I landed to be at that. It was so much. It was like 3 people he was seen by in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. I do it all on my own. I don't have the support of his father, and I don't have the support of my family.
Yeah.
And I'm in a place where it's like, I know I'm not the only one going through this.
Yeah. And that's why I always tell you, and I think I texted to you too. I was like, if you need something, ask me.
Yeah.
If I don't pick up, call me.
Yeah.
And I never say no. We always figure it out. Like our schedules, we always figure it out. And I know what I can allow. Like I know how much I can take on. There's been times that I said, if there's absolutely nothing else, I will rearrange whatever I need and I'll do it. And I've done it before and it's never a problem. But it's like that you do get that mom guilt of being like, yo, like I shouldn't be having to ask people.
I shouldn't.
I didn't make this kid by myself. You have zero responsibility. You've never done anything. The least you could do is help me with watching her while I do work, or
I'm not even asking for you to help so I can go get digged down.
Right.
I'm going to work.
Right.
Or I'm just literally want to go get a pedicure.
Right.
Or I just want to like finally like fix my nails. Or just like something for me for a second, right? And to me, like people want to be like, he's at school all day or at daycare. I am working from the moment that I open my eyes until I pick him up, because I have to pay for all of this by myself.
Yeah.
So moms that are listening and feel this like sense of mom guilt, I get it. I get it. It's hella hard. And if you have a friend of a male friend, ask them, did you take care of your son? It's back to school. Have you put food on that boy's table? Have you bought that kid clothes? When's the last time you seen them? And don't take the bullshit excuse of like, oh, I be trying. Trying?
We don't get the luxury to try.
Right.
We have to do.
Ugh.
Which I think it's such a...
It's a cop-out.
It's such a crazy advantage that men, and I will say women too, because there's also deadbeat moms.
There are deadbeat moms.
So there's always like, thank God, there's always like that one responsible person, whether it's the man or the woman, that takes on the responsibility of raising a child, even if they're doing it on their own. But it's like, it must be crazy to have the luxury to be like, I don't want to fuck with that kid today. I'm not going to call him. I'm not going to see him. I'm not going to buy them food.
For years.
I'm not going to do this, that. Like, I can't imagine. Like, my daughter's with my mom right now. She stayed over last night because I had a super early day to be here now. And she's with my mom, and I know she's in good hands. But I'm like, yo, she hasn't called me today. It was 12 o'clock. And I said, this little girl hasn't called me. Then she's like, I text you. Oh, it didn't go through. And I'm like,
you weren't even waiting for a response.
Right.
You didn't even care if I responded.
Right. So I'm just like, I have like this, in Spanish, como esta inquietud, to check on her, to make sure that she's good, even though she's with my mom and my dad, and I know my parents.
There's like an anxiety behind it.
That's my kid. I need to know what's wrong with her. I've left her with you. I still check on her. And you tell me all the time, girl,
honestly,
leave her alone.
I'd be like, first of all, stop calling. And when I see her call you, I'm like, hang up the phone. Stop calling your mama. Because our kids, when they talk to us, they be like, yeah. I'm like, you were just playing around. Stop giving your mom. Kids they ain't shit.
They are.
They know what to do. Your daughter will be like having a good old time and then call you like, but where are you? And I'm like, who is that?
Yeah,
that wasn't even you.
There's been a couple of times that you're like, what are you doing? Hang up now.
I'm like, your mama is getting some. Stop it.
No.
I'm trying to support. Because I can't get some. You got to get somebody. Has to have a stress reliever. If it ain't me, it's you.
Anyways.
And they say all of this to say, please, if you have someone in your life that you know it's a single mom or single dad, if you're friends with them, make sure they're taking care of their kids. Make sure that
you wouldn't be friends with a murderer.
Accountable.
You wouldn't be friends with a murderer who's out there murdering people and be like, you know what, he just kills a couple people.
Murderers are friends with murderers. Deadbeats are friends with deadbeats. So honestly, if you're friends with a deadbeat and you're close to them and you hang out with them all the time and like all that happens, then I just classify you as a deadbeat as well.
That, and I don't know what your judgment is like if you agree with a person doing that.
Right.
Like I don't think I can be friends with a mom who doesn't see her kids, doesn't take care of her kids, doesn't give a shit about her kids, but her hair's always done, her nails are done. Right.
So I know a girl who has some kids, and the kids lived out of state with the dad from young, and she paid child support. Saw them, got them every summer, whatever, but she paid child support every month on the month and would see them, would travel, driving to go get them. Like, I've seen moms that don't have their kids.
That must be nice. I wonder what
Did you see the clip of Cocktails and Poor Minds?
No, not yet.
So they put a clip out, an episode, I think it was Patreon, and they were like, none of them have kids. And they're like, if we get married, have kids, and it doesn't work out, and we get divorced, you keeping the kid. They were like, he's keeping the kid. You made this. I'm going to work. I'll pay you child support. I'll buy the shoes. I'll send the snacks. And honestly, I commented under. I said, if I had a father or a other partner that could at least take care of themselves, you know, and I knew that my child would be safe.
Yes.
This is it. If you see a mom,
those are key points.
If you see a mom that's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. There's two reasons here. One, it could be she's very immature and it's being vindictive. Very possible there are women that do that.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we know that our child, one, will not be safe, and that person can't even take care of themselves. So how can you take care of a child that literally wakes up trying to die every 2 seconds? Jumping off things, putting whatever in their mouths, their diapers, like all these things. We don't want to do this alone.
Right.
We don't want to do this alone.
And
I would give to have help.
I was talking about that with someone not too long ago. It's like, if you've known me long enough, and there's a very few people that say they've known me for more than 15 years. I did not want to have kids. Yeah. I didn't want to have kids. I was content with not having children. I was like, you know what? I'll be the best titi in the world. And I'm a great titi.
You would have been a rich aunt.
But and then to meet somebody, for that person to draw this picture, and then you're like, you know what? Maybe this is what I need to do. Maybe this is like the next stage of life. And then
they sell it good.
And then you decide to have a child. You go through your pregnancy. You have this child. And then they're like, no, that doesn't work. And they threw the plan away, and you're stuck with the plan.
Now you got to figure it out.
And now you need to figure it out on your own, because the plan that you had is not the plan that's happening now. I will tell you this, maybe there are some women that strive to be single parents, because there are women out there that do have babies like through surrogacy or on their own, through in vitro, whatever. You know what? If that's you, congratulations. The more power to you. But I will tell you, I genuinely don't feel that people are meant to be parents alone.
No.
I don't think that's the plan.
So I do know someone that chose to have a baby alone, but she has an amazing
network.
Yeah. Like a tribe around her. There's a village that's helping her raise that child.
Yeah.
And there are some males in her life that are like male figures to him. So I still don't get it. Yeah. But it does work for some people, and they do have a village. Choosing to have a child by your own and then just have to hire nannies all day long, that's just wild to me.
But then even at that point, you have control of that situation. You chose to have this kid by yourself.
I didn't choose this.
And you set up a contingency plan to be like, you know what? I need a nanny. I need this. I need that.
I'm angry talking about it.
My plan wasn't to be a single mother. My plan wasn't to move back with my parents at 29. My plan is not to do this by myself. Granted, I've had to like pivot and change that plan, and I have a great tribe. I have a great like group of friends that I know that if something happens, like what happened with my mom, like her medical emergency, I called one of my friends, Monica, and I was like, hey, can you please pick her up from the hospital? Because like she can't be here. She'd be like, yeah, I'm on my way. Immediately. She dropped what she was doing. She picked her up. You did it.
Honestly, I will say that everything happens for a reason, of course. God is not going to leave us desamparados. How do you say that?
Out to dry.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good way to say it. He's not going to leave you out to dry. You know? He's going to set up everything happens for a reason. But also the same way he gives to you, the parent that shows up,
Mm-hmm.
he takes away quickly from the parent that didn't. They will disappear, kapoof, gone, have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads us into the end of the podcast episode where I bring a Bible verse and bring the Lord back into it. Because again, if you're feeling like, why am I doing this? Or the other person is getting rewarded or blah, 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 blah.
We don't
Pump the
see
brakes.
everything.
Pump the brakes. You're not seeing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the word says. So I end every episode with a Bible verse. And for this week, the Bible verse is 1 Timothy 5:8. And it says, but if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. I'm going to read it one more time, just so you can soak it in. But if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. We are supposed to take care of our own. We are supposed to take care specifically of our children. He has allowed us the miracle of having children. There are people that can't have children.
Right.
That literally want this so bad.
And you're throwing it away.
And you get this blessing because miscarriages, after I had mine, realized how common it was. How common it is, especially here in the Western society where we take in so many things that aren't natural for our bodies to not be able to reproduce. So we were able to reproduce this child, and now you're not there and you're not taking care of them. Let God handle it. And that's when I've always said, when I got out of my own way, instead of going for what I want and let God, take over, then that's when the blessings came. So read this over and over again. Put it on a t-shirt. Put it on a sticky note. They will be denied something. They will struggle on their own. They will have to handle their own thing with God, whether they want to praise God and talk about God all day long in a fake manner and put it on social media or talk about it to their friends and pretend. God knows. You can't hide. You can pretend for the world, but you can't hide from him.
Yeah. And also, like, a disclaimer on that. Like, it's never too late for a deadbeat dad to be like,
never.
Can I do this? We're not gonna.
We can start somewhere.
Yeah, we're not gonna be like, oh, so now you want to show up? No. Come. What day do you want to sit down?
But come and tell me beforehand. Don't pop up.
That part.
There's still boundaries. There's still rules. And there's still trust that you have to build.
Yeah, because I will speak on my situation, which it irks me. They're like, oh, but I wasn't ready to be a dad. I wasn't ready. And I'm like, I wasn't ready to be a single mom.
But you were having sex.
But the thing is, it's like I can honestly say, like, I've never shut the door.
Me neither.
Never have I shut the door. And if that person ever gets wisdom, God,
from the Lord,
shakes them, scares them, does something to make them right, there's nothing wrong with, like, you taking ownership of what you did and just start from there forward.
Yeah.
So
if you're the deadbeat listening, because somebody said this to you,
do better.
Figure it out. Do
better. Help the economy.
If a crackhead can become a pastor, if a crackhead can become a doctor, if a prostitute can then lead women to the Lord, you, deadbeat, can come back and star with baby steps. Don't come over here trying to run.
And one day get a Father's Day card for me. One day.
One day. Not today. Not today. And we will wrap up this episode right here, knowing that everyone can always get a second chance or third or fourth. Just do it right. Just do it right. Thank you for showing up to another episode. I appreciate you. Don't forget that I do have a course that if you want to start a podcast just like this one, I can help you out. We can do it in person. We can do it virtually. ideatolaunchpodcast.com, or you can go to carlawilmaris.com. There are 3 different ways you can work with me. There's a self-paced course. There's a VIP day, virtual or in person. And then I can do your monthly production.
Get in before there's a wait list.
We are booked until October, and it is the beginning of August. I have nothing. Yeah. But get in there because it's still not going to happen overnight, right? If you're doing it on your own, but if you want like a big, we'll talk. Schedule a clarity call. $20, $20. The only reason why I charge $20 is because y'all not finna book up my schedule and not show up. If you pay the $20, I know you're serious. So check that out if you're really interested in it. And we're out of here, baby. This is quick. I like it. Quick and easy. Let's go. I can't believe I'm at Hi Hello Labs and they're having a cool event. And I messed up with my schedule.
But look at the bright side. School starts tomorrow. I'm excited.
Bye, y'all.